What is going on, my peeps? My name is David and welcome back to this week's Buzzfeed test. Now the recipe we're going to be trying out today is one that I saw on the very first day that it came out over on Tasty's channel, and I kind of knew I was going to end up doing it at some point, and then I got all your comments, your DMs, so here we are, I'm doing it. If you have not seen this beauty yet, it is called the Cheesy Rigatoni Pie, which I'm assuming is going to kind of be like a hybrid between a shepherd's pie and a baked ziti. I can't see this thing being bad, so let's get right into it. Now thankfully all we're gonna need is a few super simple ingredients to make this recipe, including a pound of rigatoni pasta, about 28 ounces of crushed tomatoes, a few cups of shredded mozzarella cheese, a pound of lean ground beef, some Parmesan cheese, salt and pepper, garlic, and olive oil. Now for step one, I wanted to get this rancid garlic out of the way because it is one of my least favorite ingredients to have to prepare, mainly because my hands end up smelling like it for the rest of the day. So I quickly got a few cloves, removed the skin off of those, and then minced them up really finely. And because we already have some pre-shredded mozzarella cheese, because I'm feeling rather lazy today, the only other prep work that we have to do is to boil up a huge pot of water with some sea salt and then cook that rigatoni pasta about halfway. Do not cook this pasta all the way through like Tasty suggests, because you will have a heck of a time trying to stand them all up in that pan later, and because they have a lot of time to cook in the oven, so don't. Now after a few minutes of boiling, I strain the pasta out, set it aside, and we can begin to work on the meat sauce. So into your pan you want to throw about a tablespoon of your olive oil and then a pound of your lean ground beef. Now usually when you make ground beef, a lot of that fat renders off and then like pools at the top. That's why I said to use lean, especially because we're having to add the olive oil and some tomato sauce. But once you got all your meat chopped up as finely as you can and then browned all the way through, you can then add in your cloves of garlic, a teaspoon of salt, about a quarter teaspoon of pepper, mix that in, and then finally finish it with your can of crushed tomatoes. This is a very simple recipe, and I'm hoping that you don't have that like metallic-y tomato taste that sometimes comes with these canned tomatoes. Hopefully after 20 minutes of simmering this, any chance of that will be gone. Now once that's cooking down a bit, we can move back over to our pasta and add in a cup of Parmesan cheese. Make sure to toss all of your pasta through that cheese, try to separate any noodles that might be sticking together a bit. And once you've sifted all of that cheese through your pasta and then the sauce has cooked down for 20 minutes, we can finally prepare the entire thing together. Now what are these things called? A springform pan or a cheesecake pan or something like that. Whatever it is, it's what you need. And using that pan, you want to line the entire bottom with all of your pasta. This step is just about as fun as it seems. Also, as I was doing this, I came to the realization that I was going to be cutting it dangerously close with the amount of pasta I had. And what you see right now is every single noodle that came in that pound of pasta, so don't waste any. Sorry if this image is bothering any of you out there, by the way. What is that called? The trypophobia or something like that? I think that's the fear of like holy objects, and no, not the religious kind. Only just turned 21 years old, but already coming out with the dad jokes. Not a good sign. But anyway, top off your pasta with all your meat sauce, trying to push them down in the holes of the pasta and between each noodle. This step ended up being a tad more difficult than I thought. I don't know if I didn't cut my meat down enough or what, but it just was not fitting. Either way, you're going to want to bake that in a 400-degree oven for 15 minutes. Take it out, throw about a cup of your shredded mozzarella cheese or however much you need to cover the whole thing, and then throw it back in your oven for another 15 minutes at the same temperature. Afterwards, you want to take it out and let it cool up for about 20 minutes, and then you could take off the outside of the pan, and okay, I'm not too mad with how this is looking so far. My suspicions originally were right that the sauce barely got down between the pasta, but as long as it tastes good, I will have no complaints. Now I can't really tell if this looks really good or just really strange. I mean, I'm mainly Italian, so pretty much any dish containing these ingredients is gonna look amazing to me. Okay. The sauce, surprisingly, has a really great flavor for the amount of time that we put it together in. Sometimes sauces can take hours. There's a really intense Parmesan flavor, as you might have guessed. But my only complaint, if you look in The pasta is kind of, why is it not focusing? I don't know. It's a tad dried out in the middle. I think I might have condensed down the sauce a bit too much. Either that or you don't need as long the second time when you put it back in the oven. Yeah, in my opinion, after the first time it's in the oven, everything's gonna be cooked anyway. So when you put the cheese on, just like broil it just to melt it down or something, because it's a tad dry. All the flavors I was hoping for are here though, I cannot deny that. And for that reason, I'm gonna give it a 7.25 out of 10. Hope you guys enjoyed today's recipe. If you did, smash a like on this video. Now, to be honest, as time moves on, I'm increasingly sweating a little bit because I know my week is gonna be very tight this week, and it's the last week of the bet we made of me dyeing my hair. For those of you who don't remember, I said if I don't post 2 videos a week for this entire month, I will dye my hair some color. I've been successful up until this point, but I got one more to go. I have to do it. I mean, it's right there for the taking. I'm sure I'll find a way to do it though. Other than that, I hope you have an awesome rest of your week. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you right back here for the next video.